Market Monday, we got our AKA crew content for this week. Keith Bullock, Mr. Monday Night. Personally, my favorite card of this drop, 94 speed, 6'3", lurk artist for 0 AP. Devin Hester, AKA Anytime. I'm surprised he doesn't have 96 speed, but he has 95 speed. Return Man for 0 AP is his most significant ability. And then your LTD this week is the previous LTD, or the previous card from last year, the Reggie White, Minister of Defense. Love the card art on this card. 89 speed, 6'5", his third player card of the year. He is, though, 1.7 million coins. He has the expensive price tag, not necessarily because the card is that good, but because of the chemistries he's able to get, which is ×3 playoff chem. And after making the playoff chem up to 60 components, you can now get +3 speed across, not only LTD Reggie White, but LTD Calvin Johnson from last week, as long as all the other playoff cards we get. And unfortunately, it seems like the market nowadays is really determined and dependent upon what chemistry these cards get. Whether it's the playoff LTDs, whether it's the AKA crew LTDs, doesn't matter if the card is even good or bad. It's gonna be an expensive card because that ×3 chemistry, although you don't need it to get these 60 components for the playoff chem, it really helps you to get that chem. Then you can use other players that necessarily don't have the playoff chem. So LTDs, at least as long as they get the playoff chemistry or the multiplier of the playoff chemistry, are always going to be very expensive. If you want extended coverage of the market and how I make my coins, subscribe to the Coin Bible exclusively on Team Get Lucky, link in the description. Taking a look at our other content for this week, we do have weekly wildcards, which isn't a new program. It got introduced to us last year. That is going to be replacing the Team of the Week program. It'll be a weekly program pretty much for the end of the year that will be releasing. We actually don't know. It might be on Tuesday. I'm just assuming it is going to be on Wednesday. And to give you a little refresher on what is the weekly wildcard program, it's very similar to Team of the Week. We got it last year. There are typically 4 champions that get released per week. They have 4 of their unique specific type of cards. Like you have, I think it's called there's a rising star, there's a heavyweight. I would like to see them in some form or fashion bring back the flashback iteration of this, because flashback cards, my favorite cards in MUT history, although they've kind of dampered, or you would say put a stain on the flashback promo the past few years. It hasn't lived to the hype that you would say MUT 15, 16, 17, the flashback promo brought back then. But anyways, 4 champions, and I believe it's 1 or 2 LTDs. I would also like to see the weekly wildcard get some form of their own. Either each of the players get a ×2 team chem, or maybe there's a weekly wildcard chem, because it's hard to combat and compete with the super teams that we're getting through the Thursday content. Whether it's this playoff promo right now, soon to be the Super Bowl promo in a few weeks. It's just hard to compete with those cards. And the thing that was holding back the Team of the Week cards this year was, one, they didn't get anything special chemistry wise, but the other thing was the abilities and the custom ability buckets they got just weren't up to par with not only the Thursday content cards, the AKA cards on Monday, but the Legends on Saturday. They were the weakest cards we get every single week. So hopefully weekly wildcard content, they, adjust and adapt to the current landscape of MUT, and either one, also give them really good chemistries, whether it's double team chem, a weekly wildcard theme promo chem, or and then also give them really good ability buckets. Don't have them be lackluster like the Team of the Week promo. You also can kind of buy the previous week's heroes and use them for the future weeks, and we are going to be having 2 94 overall releases of the weekly wildcard promo, not only this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So you can go ahead and buy whatever the 91 overall heroes this week are, assuming it's the same as last year. They will go into next week's weekly wildcard set. But that's weekly wildcards. Let's move on to the playoff promo. The last and final release of the playoff promo. One of the best promos this year. I mean, you could say, champion-wise, we've gotten a ton of champions. The theme team chem has been very good. It's made these cards the best in the game, so you can't hate on that fact. Feels like EA really is going overboard, though, with the team chemistries. They always start out slow, whether it's with strat cards and then team chems, and by the end of the year, it's just completely overboard. And there's always one middle promo throughout the year that breaks the speed threshold, and they just go all out. They just don't care anymore. All right, who cares? Let's just give everyone +2, +3 speed. But the last and final playoff drop, it is still going to be 94 overalls this Thursday, so you can go ahead and buy your 91 overall cards. I always say the first and the last of an overall or an overall investing for Thursday content is the riskiest because, well, you are really reliant on EA to drop really, really good champions, because if they don't drop good champions, your 91 overall cards you're buying right now don't really have any other future uses other than the 94 overall playoff cards. So, go ahead, buy them. I always will say, if you just want the new 94 overall champions, like you're going to pick them up, it usually is better to pick up the 91 overall heroes a few days in advance. It's just cheaper that way. But investing wise, you can do whatever you want. Now, another thing we need to talk about is an overall boost, because that is coming not this Thursday, but the following Thursday with the Super Bowl promo part 1. And while training is still not all the way down, right? 94 overalls are still 300k. We have to buy training like around, I think it's 3.5 per, if my math is correct, to make it to where the mystery pack is around 30,000 coins for the mystery pack rollover. 94 overalls got to get down to around like 230, 240k, so they still have a ways to go. 93 overalls, which have to get down to like 130, 140, they're still at like 185k. So, and I wouldn't really say we're looking to buy these right now. It's more so, hey, this is something to keep in mind. We look at this over the weekend. We could get a really good offer this weekend. It can make content go down. But, 94 overalls, 93 overalls, I would say also, of course, 91 overalls are inflated. But the big bulk training buys that you want to stock up training-wise are still, a little bit too expensive. The other thing, though, is the 92 overalls. The 92 overalls are not that expensive. They're at around 100k right now, which is not awful. They still have to go down a little bit for it to be training value, but you also have to throw in the factor that 92 overalls will be that investment for the Super Bowl promo part 1. So keep your eye out on 92 overalls, because they could be a smash buy this weekend if only they drop a little bit more. They don't have to drop that much. They're actually like the cheapest of the high overall cards this week. But I think that's about it for Market Monday. It's a very repetitive content cycle. We don't get many new promos, or we get new promos, but the promos aren't anything new in terms of the structure. It's, low cards into mid cards into heroes. And the champions, there's no, I can't talk about any rerolls on Market Monday because all the rerolls really, really suck. I can't talk about any packs on Market Monday because no packs are good except for the mystery pack rollover. So it's definitely these videos for me are very, very repetitive, because I feel like I'm just repeating over and over and over again, like, hey, we're gonna be targeting like these overalls, and we kind of do the same thing every single week. I would definitely like to see a little bit more, at least in the menu, some creativity, some different stuff we could do. I miss opening up rerolls. I miss opening up packs, not necessarily to make coins, but just not to lose coins. It seems like whenever I go to open up packs, or anybody opens up packs, you're losing 80%. I miss the fact that you could lose 20%, roll and roll forever, and if you're very tedious and detailed in the way you liquidated the low overall cards, when you finally hit that LTD, it was something big. Now you got to pull the LTD just to break even, and we all know how hard it is to pull LTDs and high rated cards in this game. But that's all for the Market Monday this week. Comment if you have any questions, like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and until next time, peace.